Yep. So this hose is way too long. So I have to go into town where the near where the machine shop is. I have to go in town to the machine shop.
Oh.
And
yes.
The place that we get our hoses from is not far from there. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take this in and get us another one made, smaller. Let me get a plug for that. Go get us a hose made. I think it's too big. Boy, I need a better selection of these plugs. I've used them all up.
Well,
I end up with all the ones I've seen.
They have some on Amazon. I don't know what they're actually for. I guess whatever. But...
Well, I'm gonna put this in a drain pan. And look for one.
Okay. Found one?
Yeah, okay. This won't be a problem once this is hooked to the bed, because this won't go down that far. It's only getting kinked right now. It's because we're just laying it here. Once it's hooked to the bed, it won't go that far. It won't be a problem. That's when I'll replace that line, but not before. So we're gonna go ahead and have that hose made and stop by the machine shop. And hopefully we can keep going on this. I'm almost done here. I'm gonna do a little bit of wiring here for my relay. We're gonna have power coming into here from the ignition switch. So when the key is on, if there's a demand, if we're low on air pressure, it'll close this switch. And when it does, it'll activate the relay back here. And then I'll turn the compressor on. I still have plumbing to do here. I have some things I want to do. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do them because of time. I just don't have the time to put in this right now. I need to move forward on other stuff. Let's run my wire for the dump controls to go inside the cab, and I couldn't ignore down here and just looking at some stuff and happened to notice my wife turn a wheel and the pitting arm was moving. I got it out now. I'll show you what it looked like. It has a kind of a double idler arm set up here, one here and one over here, and you know, needless to say, that one was in really bad shape. That one felt good until I took it loose and realized that the bushing was all crumbled up inside. It was just kind of still in there. And then I looked back a little farther and I saw that. That's awful. So then I stuck a light back behind it just to see how much light actually gets through that radiator. Needless to say, we'll be cleaning that out. And I got to go turn the compressor on. At least now you can see a little bit of light. It still ain't enough. Still gonna have to clean it out some more. So at first glance, this really looks like that bushing's in good shape until you look at this side. It's half gone. Half the bushing is completely gone. So I'm gonna have to drive that out and take both of these and have a bushing made for this I'll have to measure that bolt that comes through it.
And what'd you say those are made out of?
These are cast. This looks like it's kind of like Bakelite plastic. Whatever we do, we'll drill this cast and put in grease fittings too, if we can. So at least, you know, whatever we make will last for the, 8 miles you put on this thing in its life. So I got these parts back from the machine shop. I had them bore the center of this out because it was plastic bushing. I had them replace it with an oil-like bronze bushing. So we're gonna put it in here. It gets sandwiched in between 2 plates. This one right here comes like this. So I have to get it in there and flap this so that this sits proper, and do the same thing on this one here. But that should take care of that horrible knocking. So let's see what we can do. All right, we got it. So everything in here is tight. I've got these set up. They're doing pretty good. It doesn't feel any harder to turn than before, does it?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, a little bit. It's a little tighter.
Well, yeah, we got bigger tires actually biting them little dirt bike tires that were on it. Okay, so that's all done. So I can't put this cover back on because I have a bunch of wiring that needs to come up here, but this is done for now. So I guess now we'll move on to the outside lift kit. We're going to start with the front lift kit. I chose this one. You could get, like this or not adjustable. I chose the adjustable because I want to be able to adjust the camber in and out, because as you take that arm, that lower control arm, it pivots here and here. So as you take it like this, all right, it's pulling the bottom in. So if the camber stayed the same, the tire could look like this. So I want to be able to fix the camber. As we go to lift it, it's going to push that control arm down. And when it does, this, if it stays right here, it's going to go like this. So we want to be able to have the top adjustable, which is what this bolt right here will do. This will allow us to adjust it in and out, which is all we need to do. So if we set it like this, if it sat like that before, we'll be able to do this and bring that back into straight where we want it. I'm not going to get real particular on this. I stuck a angle finder gauge on the end of the cap here, and I ran a straight edge through here and checked it, and I'm just going to use that. So these just go on top of this, just creating a spacer is all. There's not enough room to get a socket or closed end wrench in there. It's a very tight fit. Look at the stagger the welds too. Alright. Okay. Nut and bolted from the top and sandwiches in. Okay.
Do you want me to pry down?
More. Hang on. Let up. Push down. Yeah, this is fun. Okay, let up. Nothing like grinding on all four sides. So I have to grind that because it's too wide to fit in here. This metal here starts to roll, so this was holding it up, and there's a bump right here. So now I need to make sure we're flat. Look up here. It's like I need to take a little more off the back here. All right, so this now goes up into here. And you see that bolt here corresponds with this, so we can slide this in. The problem is the diameter of this is so tight, it hits both of these bolts before we come anywhere off center. So these bolts are in the way. So I need to get this thing finished up for right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this together, and my camber is going to be off. It'll be leaned out just a little bit. So if you look at the tire, it'll be leaning out this way a little. But that's just going to have to do for now. When we come back to it, the plan is, unless I come up with something different between now and then, the plan is to take it back out, clean this all up in here, around here, and weld this all the way around, inside and here, in 3 spots or 4 spots, whatever we can get, and then take the bolts out and do away with the bolts altogether. And then that way I can slide that in farther, because the bolts are what's stopping it, nothing else. The big problem to that is we really need to drill and tap this in more than one spot. So you might want to drill this and tap it so we have 2 bolts instead of 1. I just feel better with 2 bolts holding it instead of 1. And that looks like it's 3/16 or a quarter, maybe quarter top. It looks like 3/16. Regardless, it's enough to hold a second bolt. I could drill a hole and weld another nut inside like it already is too. That's an option. But for right now, we need to get it done. I got a truck we got to get in the shop, and this truck is holding up progress right now. So we're going to slide that up in there. Well, I don't like it, but it's in there. The camber's bad, but we'll roll it back and forth, and it will get better. Not good enough, but better. That's awful. It'll get a little better once we put some weight on it and drive it, but it's not going to work. And the problem is you just can't shove that in, because that cylinder is hitting them bolts. So I'm gonna have to do more work. But now we gotta get onto the back, and you know, these aren't right either. I guess they want you to put them on there and then put a spacer in between the leaf spring. You see the difference here? It's tapered. So I guess I'll put a spacer between the two, figure out what it is, go from there. All right, so this kit obviously is just garbage. It doesn't work with this truck. I don't know why they list it as it does. It's not even close. I mean, obviously we can see this difference, right? Here's another problem. None of these bolts are long enough. They're all too short. They're metric bolts. There's nowhere I'm going to find metric bolts today, and I'm running out of time. I just need this bay. I've got something I have to get in here, and I just can't spend the time right now to take the rear any farther. I just can't spend the time to work on this rear, because I'm not gonna make that crap work. I'm just gonna move forward with the way I want to do it. But that means it has to come out. And I absolutely hate taking something out of the shop when I'm not done, because there is a 95% chance that it will never get finished if I take it out of the shop, because life gets in the way, and that's what's going on right now. I have a couple things I have to get done, you know, and this thing has been in the shop here for quite a few months, but it didn't matter because we could still work outside. Well, now it's cold out, and I need to get something inside, so it's going to have to go outside. or it's gonna have to go in the back part of the shop. We're moving stuff around, so it'll still be able to be in the shop, but not right here, because this is my most productive bay. I need to get a bunch of stuff finished up so we can free up some space, because we have more stuff coming, something pretty important, I think. But anyways, that's where we're gonna leave this series for right now. We got a lot accomplished, we're just not done. Hopefully we'll pick up on it here in maybe a month or so, maybe 2, once things start to slow down a little bit more and we can get back at it. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one. We've rolled it back and forth a few times, trying to let the camber, you know, the coil springs settle in, and it's just not good enough. So we're just going to end up building our own, which is what I should have done to begin with. Every time I try and just buy something pre-made aftermarket, I'm never happy with it. Never works like I think it should, or they say it should. I end up building it myself. It's what I should have done in the beginning. Oh well, live and learn. You'd think I'd learn by now.